information kind of update since yesterday, and there's not a lot of updated information other than a lot of the people that have come up from other counties such as New Hanover, Brunswick. We've had a huge number of people throughout the state that have volunteered their time and resources to come up here and help us look for this little boy.
Breaking news tonight out of North Carolina. Authorities are confirming an urgent and deeply alarming development. 7-year-old Liam King has disappeared, and the situation has escalated into one of the largest search operations Randolph County has seen in years. Liam was last seen on Sunday evening in the Forest Hills Drive area of Asheboro. Since that moment, the response has grown rapidly, pulling in not only local deputies but also state officials and now federal partners. The FBI is officially on the ground, signaling the seriousness of this case and the nationwide concern for Liam's safe return. What makes this search especially critical is Liam's condition. He is nonverbal and lives with cognitive challenges, meaning he cannot simply call out for help, ask for directions, or explain who he is if someone encounters him. Law enforcement has issued repeated warnings that Liam may try to run if approached by strangers. 4 search teams. This means they must move carefully, balancing urgency with caution so as not to frighten him into hiding further. Every detail matters, from his height of just 3'5" to his distinctive light blue, black, and gray Nike sweatshirt, Sonic-themed socks, and tan sneakers. Investigators believe these identifiers could be crucial for members of the public who may spot him. The search effort has already expanded into the woods, neighborhoods, and greenways around Asheboro. Drones, K-9 units, and air support have been deployed, and volunteers have been asked to remain alert but to report sightings rather than approach Liam directly. Authorities stress that if anyone believes they've seen him, they should dial 911 immediately. This developing situation has sparked an outpouring of concern online. Social media is filled with posts sharing Liam's photo and description, while local media outlets are reporting around the clock. Some residents have voiced frustration over what they describe as a nearly 2-hour delay in the initial public alert, but law enforcement insists all resources are now focused on finding Liam as quickly as possible. The question remains tonight: where is Liam King, and can this community bring him home safely? Liam is not just any missing child. His disappearance carries layers of urgency and heartbreak that make every passing hour more critical. At only 7 years old, Liam is already vulnerable, but his situation is made even more fragile because he is nonverbal and lives with cognitive impairments. This means he cannot simply explain who he is if someone finds him, nor can he call out for help or communicate his needs in a way that most children his age could. It also means the very act of approaching him could complicate the search. Authorities have stressed again and again that Liam may become frightened and run if a stranger gets too close, which could place him in even greater danger, especially in wooded areas, traffic zones, or near bodies of water. These circumstances are what make the case so urgent and so profoundly heartbreaking. Every parent watching this story unfold understands the terror of a child being alone, lost, and unable to reach out for comfort or safety. In Liam's case, that fear is magnified, because even if someone spots him, they cannot simply call his name and expect him to respond. Search teams must be quiet, deliberate, and cautious, using specialized strategies to avoid pushing him farther away. That is why law enforcement has brought in K-9 units, aerial drones, and trained experts who understand how to search for children with special needs. The community's emotional response has been immediate and raw. Many have expressed that the thought of Liam wandering, possibly scared, possibly hiding, is almost unbearable. This is not just a missing child alert. This is a call to action for an entire region. Every set of eyes matters. Every neighbor who checks their backyard, every driver who scans a roadside, and every person who shares his photo could make the difference between hours of uncertainty and the moment he is brought back safely. Tonight, the search continues under the weight of urgency and the hope of compassion. Liam's case is not just a headline. It is a plea from a family and a community desperate for his safe return. Liam was last seen on Sunday evening in the Forest Hills Drive area of Asheboro, a quiet neighborhood now transformed into the center of a desperate search. That final sighting has become the cornerstone of this investigation, the last known moment when anyone can say for certain where Liam was and what he was wearing. Investigators have emphasized these clothing details repeatedly because they may be the only way the public can help identify him quickly. Liam was dressed in a light blue and black Nike sweatshirt layered over a gray t-shirt, paired with black sweatpants. On his feet, he wore tan sneakers and distinctive blue socks decorated with Sonic the Hedgehog designs. These details may seem small, but for search teams and community members scanning every corner, they could mean the difference between missing a clue and making a crucial discovery. Since that last confirmed sighting, Liam has vanished without a trace. There have been no verified sightings, no clear indication of which direction he may have gone, and no items recovered that point to his path. For his family, that silence is crushing. Hours have stretched into days, each one filled with uncertainty, fear, and the agonizing question, where could Liam be? Authorities are scouring wooded trails, creeks, and neighborhoods surrounding Forest Hills Drive, but so far, the search has turned up nothing definitive. What makes this disappearance even more concerning is how quickly a child Liam's age, especially one with his vulnerabilities, can become disoriented. In just minutes, he could have wandered beyond familiar areas. For investigators, this means expanding the search radius, deploying aerial drones to cover more ground, and canvassing nearby homes and businesses for security footage that might provide even a fleeting glimpse. Every trace of clothing, every possible lead, is treated as vital. Authorities are urging residents to double-check their properties, sheds, garages, porches, and wooded backyards in case Liam sought shelter. Right now, the only certainty is what he was last seen wearing. Beyond that, the trail grows cold. And with each hour that passes, the urgency intensifies. What began as a small neighborhood search late Sunday night has now escalated into a full-scale, multi-agency operation that stretches across Randolph County and beyond. In the first few hours, neighbors and deputies walked the streets around Forest Hills Drive, calling Liam's name and shining flashlights into backyards and wooded edges. But when no sign of him emerged, the urgency of the case triggered a much larger response. By Monday morning, additional law enforcement agencies had arrived, and before long, state investigators and federal partners from the FBI had joined in. Their presence underscores just how critical this search has become. Now, the operation looks very different from those early hours. Crews are combing through dense wooded areas, creeks that wind through the county, and residential neighborhoods, methodically covering every possible place Liam could be. Teams of officers and trained volunteers move in grid patterns, ensuring that no patch of land is overlooked. K-9 units have been deployed to pick up even the faintest scent trail. Drones fly overhead, scanning areas that would take hours to cover on foot. Helicopters hover above tree lines and open fields, using infrared technology to detect heat signatures in the hopes of spotting a small figure who may be trying to hide or shelter. Each passing hour raises the stakes. Authorities know that time is the most precious resource in a missing child case, and they are moving as quickly as possible. Specialized search and rescue teams with experience locating children with special needs are now assisting, bringing tactics designed to find someone who may not respond in typical ways. Waterways, storm drains, and thick brush are all being carefully checked. Dangerous places where a frightened child could easily become trapped. For residents of Asheboro, the sight of helicopters circling overhead, patrol cars lining neighborhood streets, and officers moving through the woods is a chilling reminder of the crisis unfolding in their community. This is no longer a simple missing persons case confined to one street. It is a coordinated, county-wide effort to find Liam before it is too late. But this case has not unfolded without controversy, and that controversy has added tension to an already heartbreaking search. Residents in Asheboro and across Randolph County have been vocal in questioning why it took nearly 2 full hours for a public alert to be issued after Liam was first reported missing. In a situation where a vulnerable 7-year-old has vanished, those 2 hours can feel like an eternity. Every parent knows how quickly a child can wander, and in cases like this, every single minute matters. The community has pressed law enforcement for answers, asking whether valuable time and potentially crucial opportunities to locate Liam were lost. Officials have acknowledged the delay, but they stress that the timeline of events is complex. According to statements released to local media, authorities had to confirm details, gather accurate descriptions, and coordinate with state systems before pushing out the official alert. They maintain that while the notification took longer than the public expected, search efforts on the ground began immediately and have never stopped. From their perspective, every available officer, volunteer, and piece of equipment was deployed from the moment Liam's disappearance was reported. Still, frustration lingers. Outlets such as WFMY have already begun investigating the alert process, with reporters asking whether procedures should be changed to prioritize speed over accuracy in future cases. Residents argue that people could have been looking for Liam sooner if they had known right away. For many, the memory of receiving that alert hours later, seeing Liam's picture, description, and the urgent plea for help only deepened the sense of anguish. Officials now emphasize that no resource is being spared. The Randolph County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, state investigators, and specialized search units are all committed to finding Liam. They insist the focus must remain on the present, covering ground, following leads, and bringing him home. But the controversy has left a mark, reminding everyone watching that in the fragile window of a missing child case, time is everything, and that the community will demand answers even as the search pushes forward. The Randolph County Sheriff's Office has left no stone unturned in their efforts to get Liam's image and details into the public eye. His photo has been shared on social media platforms, local news websites, and through every available public alert system. Law enforcement officials are urging anyone who might see him to stay calm and resist the instinct to approach him directly. Because Liam is nonverbal and has cognitive impairments, sudden contact from strangers could frighten him and cause him to run, potentially moving him further away from search teams. This is why authorities are emphasizing that the most important action anyone can take is to immediately call 911 or contact the Randolph County Sheriff's tip line if they believe they have spotted him. Even the smallest detail could be critical. A fleeting glimpse of Liam in a driveway, a park, or along a roadside could provide search teams with a lead they desperately need. Officers stress that no piece of information is too minor. The color of his clothing, the direction he was headed, or even a brief movement could make the difference in locating him safely. Because he may wander unpredictably, time is of the essence, and every report matters. The Sheriff's Office has also warned the community against sharing unverified photos or rumors on social media. While public support and awareness are vital, incorrect information can create confusion, divert resources, and slow the search. By sharing only official alerts and verified details, residents can become a powerful force in helping law enforcement track Liam's movements. Beyond just calling authorities, the public is being asked to stay vigilant in their own neighborhoods. Homeowners, joggers, and anyone near greenways, parks, or open wooded areas are encouraged to keep an eye out while maintaining safety. This cooperative effort between the community and law enforcement is designed to maximize the chance of finding Liam quickly, while keeping both the boy and volunteers out of harm's way. Every moment counts, and every tip could be the one that changes the course of this investigation. Law enforcement's repeated plea is clear. Do not approach Liam. Report immediately and help spread verified information. Because in situations like this, collective vigilance can save a life. Right now, the question on everyone's mind is both simple and gut-wrenching. Where is Liam King? For his family, every second is filled with fear, hope, and unimaginable anxiety. Parents, siblings, and relatives are waiting, holding on to the smallest signs, desperate for any news that could lead to his safe return. Their world has been turned upside down in a matter of hours, and every passing moment without answers magnifies their anguish. This is a 7-year-old child, nonverbal, vulnerable, and in need of immediate protection, and the weight of that reality hangs heavily over the entire community. Across Asheboro and Randolph County, neighbors, friends, and even strangers are uniting in concern. Social media feeds are flooded with Liam's photo, descriptions of what he was wearing, and pleas for anyone who might have seen him to come forward. Local residents are checking backyards, parks, greenways, and wooded trails, knowing that every corner, every alley, and every open field could hold clues to his whereabouts. Volunteers and community members are working tirelessly alongside law enforcement, driven by the hope that their collective effort might make the difference in finding him. Meanwhile, law enforcement is continuing an around-the-clock search that leaves no stone unturned. Deputies, state investigators, and FBI personnel are coordinating complex operations, from air support to K-9 units, to ensure that every potential lead is pursued. Officials are aware that time is critical, especially for a child like Liam, who may not be able to communicate or seek help if he encounters strangers. Each hour counts, and the stakes could not be higher. This is a story that is still unfolding in real time. Updates continue to come in, and every new piece of information has a potential to change the course of the search. For viewers, for residents, and for those hoping to help, the message is clear. Stay alert, report any sightings immediately, and keep Liam's story alive in the community. The hope is unwavering that Liam King will be found safe and returned to the arms of his family.